Hey guys, Crimson Thunder here. Just doing another video for Falcon BMS 4.34. I have also noticed that along the changes for the SAM sites, when it comes to attacking them, it's actually going to be different now. And that means that the ability to apply the harm to the SAM sites is now going to be much more challenging, because it's now going to be using both the search radar and the actual fire control radar, which in this case is going to make SAM threats actually much more lethal, including the ones that are actually mobile, like they have in real life. For those of you who don't really know about the 90s F-16 shotdown over around Bosnia, let's see. This is from Lieutenant Scott Francis O'Grady. This occurred on June 2nd, 1995. He was actually shot down by an SA-6 because they were able to not give the position of the SA-6 radar away until it was basically too late. And this is basically like an ambush type of stuff. And for those of you who don't know, the SA-6 is also one of those extremely deadly, and those extremely deadly, radar SAM systems that you need to have a lot of speed in order to actually defeat these missiles. Kinetically, it's not really that hard. It's not really easy. But during some off-screen practice runs, I did manage to actually evade them fairly okay, simply by beaming them and maintaining a high speed. Do not try to do that at very slow speeds in this one. But with enough practice that I ended up doing a lot on my own time, I'm probably going to have to show you some technique, a couple of techniques as far as knowing when to fire. And I have this scenario all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and take off. As we are now going to just load right in. It just needs a minute to load. There we go. Center this. So now we're going to go ahead and set our throttle. Now back in our little area, we did have a thing for being around here like normal. I'm going to go ahead and
in position.
Move over here. Switch into air-ground mode. Gonna power up your AGM-88s just like you normally would, as if you're going to attack these on a normal mission. Now, the RWR currently is not showing any enemy contacts yet, but the AI is now smarter about doing this, so it doesn't give away its position. Because if it was illuminating right now, then I would have no problem actually blowing this up. And I'm going to do this in the pre-brief mode for the weapon, because I actually think this is fairly this is what I usually like doing. Now I know that I have an SA2 site right here, so I'm going to select that from the steer points. And we know that is an SA2. If I fired right now, the chances of the hitting the enemy would be significantly low, even though I am well within range. What you're gonna need to try to do is get the SA2's radar to illuminate before actually firing. Once you end up seeing this happen, then you can fire, and that's when the harm will be able to track. Sorry, my cat is just being annoying. We're in 49 miles to the target. And it's also important before you fire that you actually have cursor 0 set, so you don't end up firing the harm off in the wrong direction. We're about 40 miles from the target now, which is well within firing range of this particular for this missile. And if we fly it right now, it'll have a flight time of about a minute and 50. Still need to have a thing come up pretty soon. There are some search radars that are out there. And what we're looking for is the SA2, is the one for the SA2. There's the SA2. Now that it's illuminated, we are now going to fire off. Magnum. And then, after that, I'm now slowly going to start turning to the right in an attempt to keep him from firing. Alright, 36 seconds to impact. We can go ahead and check our missile. Now the SAM site is in the vicinity over at that airfield over there. And see there that now the target is detected and locked because it illuminated. This actually might be different if you decided to fire while it was not actually there. Still going about Mach 2. And we gotta go boom. Target destroyed. Which means the SAM site is effectively neutralized. Now let's let's try this SA3. I want to just to prove the point. We're now going to hit that. Make sure we're at cursor 0. Select that. And we are within 25 miles, which is still well outside the range of an SA3. Magnum. Cat 1.
Caution. Caution.
Oops, and we actually accidentally fired that in EOM, but it shouldn't be too much different. And as you probably see right now, because the SA3 was not illuminating, this will cause the missile to just completely miss. So, yep. So it's really important that you understand that before you actually decide to fire on these particular enemies for the radar for taking out SAM sites or such, make sure that you do actually make sure that they are illuminating first before you actually fire on them. And this will go ahead and end the mission.
Weasel 3, no spread. Weasel 3-2, on my way.
So let's go take a look at this again. This time we're going to be doing the one of the other ways, which I think it's the HTS sensor. So we're going to power on these HAD. So now we're going to fly towards this steer point, because that is where the known launcher is.
2, in position.
See, so basically right about here. As it's doing air defense against the airfield. Because if that thing was illuminated, I'd fire right now. is a search radar out there that is illuminating over there. He's just waiting there, trying to get an opportunity to attack them when we least expect it. So we do know that but at least the HAD does know that there is an actual SAM site radar in that particular area. It also just picked up the SA-3 as well. There we go. Now it's illuminating. Now we're going to fire. I'm going to beam right. Turn on ECM so they don't get the fire on me. And it knows that, and it has detected the target, and it's going to blow the thing up. Target destroyed. Now we can mark that off. And let's have our wingman go attack this thing.
Weasel 3-2, attack target. Bullseye 05279. 2, Wilco.
Music off. Let's start going. We'll go ahead and go after the SA-6. Now this is a very dangerous one that shot down Lieutenant O'Grady. The flat face there is just a search radar for it. While it will definitely reduce the ability for the enemy to be able to track, to be able to search for something with it, it is actually not actually the one that you want to be firing at. And please note that there is a possibility that I will be fired upon. There's the SA-6, so we actually are going to actually go ahead and now take this thing out before it fires.
Magnum.
Go to Cat 1, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the ECM and prepare for the possibility that we're going to be fired upon. Looks like we have destroyed the target. Though it's very hard to tell.
Weasel 3-2. Attack target at bearing 28011.
Now the SA-3.
2. Wilco. 2. Weasel 3-2. Weasel 3-2. Attack target at bearing 26013. 2. Engage defensive.
See the
Weasel 3-2. 2. Wilco. Weasel 3-2. Weapons on target.
So that makes some of these particular weapons much more dangerous.
Engage defensive.
Alright, we got a missile launch. There's the flat face. Okay, there's a missile launch. Missile launch. Now evading these are pretty simple. I don't even have to use chaff for this. I'm just going to maneuver to the beam of it.
Altitude. Altitude. Chaff.
But I
Flare.
will actually go ahead and try some of this.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
There we go.
Magnum. 2. Engage defensive. 2.
Alright, so in theory this should also that looks like a solid hit, and that appears to have destroyed that launcher over there, neutralizing the SAM site. All that's left was a search radar, but that's pretty much irrelevant. There's an SA-4. There it is off of our right. Just go to the same tactics.
Chaff. Flare.
And drop some chaff on the way down.
Chaff. Flare.
Pull up.
Chaff. Flare.
And it actually didn't it wasn't so bad actually evading some of those systems. Now earlier I actually have done the same thing against the SA-6, but also just got to remember, maintain some high speeds and also always maneuver to the beam. And try not to do too much chaff if you don't have to. So that's basically the bit some of the most basics of actually
Weasel 3, rejoin formation.
employing the harm in this
Weasel
particular
3-2,
round.
on my way.
Because some people might actually find it frustrating that some of their harms will not hit the target and will instead result to some of those glide bombs instead, which I don't blame them. And that should be it for advice on deploying the harm. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Crimson Thunder. See you next time, everybody.